So now we're going to be dealing with the area of compound figures or irregular figures. And the way this works is you got to figure out how the shapes actually fit into the shapes you actually know. So for example here, what we've got here is we've got a shape with a chunk missing that would be a nice clean rectangle, but because of that chunk missing we have to make some adjustments over here. We have a nice clean rectangle, but also we have a triangle off to the side that we'll have to work with. Here we've got a chunk missing out of a big rectangle again. For here we could either approach this as two trapezoids, one here and one here, or a big old rectangle with a triangle out of the bottom of it. Here this is going to be three rectangles again, 1, 2, 3, or one big rectangle, the whole big thing, with this chunk out of the side of it. And here we can just break this down into three rectangles. So just to show you what I mean, just going to draw in a couple of things here, and then we're going to figure these out. So for example, this one right here, if we break this down, that's now 1, 2, 3 rectangles. This one here, as I said, triangle, rectangle. This one here, could do it as two rectangles if we wanted to. And so on. You just have to figure out the shapes that you know and the shapes that you can work with. So, if we look at this problem right here, we've got a rectangle that's 18 by 39, and I like to make sure that I write these out clearly. 18 by 39, because the biggest problem a lot of students have is they go ahead and they somehow skip one of the pieces. Now this piece here, we've got 6 feet, and if we look over here, that's 39, so 6 feet times 39. And the one that's tricky is this one right here. This piece right here is going to be tricky because we need to figure out how to figure out the measures of that, because it isn't listed anywhere. So we've got to look up here. Well, it's 39 feet from here to here. So 39 feet from here to here, and then it's 26 feet from here to here. So it's got to be 39 minus 26, which is going to be 13. So it's going to be 13 feet high. And then we've got to figure out the length from here to here. Well, it's 29 feet from here to here all the way across. From here to here, it's got to be 29 feet minus 18 minus 6. So 29 minus 18 minus 6, that's going to give us 5 as a total. And if we look here, that would be, now we have our 5 by 13 rectangle. And if we just add up all those quickly, we're just going to go ahead and go 18 times 39. So that's going to be 702. Then we got 6 times 39. It's going to be 234. Then we have 5 times 13. That's 65. And then we add up all those together. 702 plus 234 plus 65. And that's going to give us 1,001 feet squared. Remember, it's going to be feet squared because it's area. Now over here we've got another problem, but I want to do this problem a little bit differently, so I've gone ahead and had another sheet that's blank with the same information on there. And instead, what I want to do is I want to show you how to do this where you take away that chunk there. And so if we look here, we're going to figure out the area of this whole big piece here. I can just draw that in, and then take away this chunk here. So this whole big piece is going to just be 39 times 29. So if we were figuring out the area of that whole big chunk, that's what it would be, including that piece. And now we've just got to figure out what that piece is here. And we already know it's 26 feet high. Now we just got to figure out that base again. We already did that. It's 29. If you imagine here, it's 29 minus the 18 and minus the 6 again. and you already know that that's going to be 5. So it's 26 minus 5. But we're going to have to subtract this part from here. So we just do 30. Just going to go ahead and pull out the calculator again. So it's going to be 39 times 29. That's going to be 1,131. 26 times 5. It's going to be 130. But you just got to remember to subtract these, and so when you subtract the two, you're going to end up with 1,001 feet squared, just like the other problem. So it works. You just need to figure out which is easier to work with for you. Is it going to be easier to subtract a chunk or to add up all the chunks together? And so back to this one for a moment here. I already drew this nice little triangular piece right here. So what we've got here is we've got two pieces here. We've got the 13 times 17. That's going to be that rectangle right there. And then we've got this piece over here we've got to figure out. And this is going to be how high? It's going to be 17 for the whole thing minus 9. So that's going to be 8. So that's what this height is going to be. And now from here to here is 20. From here to here is 13. So 20 minus 13 is going to give us 7. So that's going to be that triangle's base, because we know that this is going to be a right angle. So this is going to be 13 times 17 for this rectangular portion right here. Now we just got to figure out this triangle, so it's going to be, remember our triangle area formula. It's base times height times a half. And that's going to give us, again, for 13 times 17, that's 221. 221. And 7 times 8 is 56. We have that. We have 28. So it's going to be 221 plus 28. So that's going to be 249. In this case here, it's kilometers squared. So really, just this is the whole idea. Divide it into shapes that you can actually work with. And when you do that, you then will be able to actually work with it easier, and it will be a lot simpler problems. But really write this stuff out, like over here and over here, to make sure that it's clear that you have the all the pieces together.